In this video, we're going to be looking at time zones. So in the first question, we need to use the map to determine the number of time zones. Firstly, we're going to start with Australia. Now, this might be a bit tricky as it's a little bit small, but Australia is down here, and we can see that there are three colours corresponding to three different time zones, 1, 2 and 3, that take place in Australia. Now we've got the USA. So the USA is located over here. And again, we're looking for the time zones. We're ignoring Hawaii. So the USA has got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are 5 time zones in the USA, ignoring Hawaii. And then we're going to look for China. So China is over here. And you can see that China is all in one colour. They have the same time zone, despite the fact that the country extends over quite a range of longitudes. They are all working on a single time zone. So there is 1. So the local mean time in New York, which is over here on the east coast of the USA, is 12:30. Use the time zone chart above to determine the local mean time in Los Angeles, which is on the west coast and is over here. So if it's 12:30 in New York, we can see that LA is 1, 2, 3 time zones earlier because it's further to the west than New York. So we would just do 12:30 minus 3 hours, which would mean that the local mean time in Los Angeles would be 9:30 in the morning. The local mean time in Mexico City is 4:45 in the afternoon. So Mexico City is over here. Use the time zone chart to deduce the local mean time in London, which would be over here. So we can see that we need to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 time zones earlier to be in the same time zone as London. So therefore we know that if it's 4:45 or 16:45 in the evening in Mexico, we need to add on 6 hours, which will mean that it will be 22:45 local mean time in London, or 45 minutes past 10 in the evening. Harry is in Dublin on the phone to his friend Svetlana, who's somewhere in the middle of Russia. Svetlana says that her local mean time is 17:30. The difference in longitude between the two friends is 105 degrees. So what is the value of GMT at this moment in time for Harry? Well, we can work out each time zone is approximately 15 degrees wide. So firstly, we'll do 105 divided by 15, which is 7. This means there are 7 time zones between Harry and Svetlana. So moving back, we'd need to move back 7 hours. So we would do 17:30 minus 7 hours, which means that the time GMT would be 10:30 in the morning, because Dublin is running on Greenwich Mean Time. A hotel has a display showing the local mean time at some of the world's major cities. The clock shows that the local mean time in Hong Kong is 22:56 and in London is 15:56. Assuming that Hong Kong is in the middle of its time zone, deduce the longitude of Hong Kong. So we want to know the difference between London and Hong Kong, which is 7 hours. We did 22:56 minus 15:56. Now, as we said, each time zone of 1 hour corresponds to 15 degrees. So 7 multiplied by 15 degrees is 105 degrees. So we know that the difference in longitude would be 105 degrees. Now, because Hong Kong is later, that means it must be to the east of London. So therefore, we also know that the longitude would be 105 degrees east. Were Hong Kong to have been earlier, then we know that it would be to the west.